Well, welcome everybody. Here we are. We are live. We made it. Dr. George just in time. I got myself set up just in time, and here we are. We're going live in the group. Let me make sure it's up and running. You know, I've had a couple. There's been a lot of tech changes online in the world, and that means things change on my end. And oh, here we are. If you catch the video live right now, well, you'll see it. However, what I'm looking back at the last 3 episodes we've done, goes to like a marketplace page, not showing the video. So we're gonna figure that little nuance, but that's the nature of the world. We're always changing. Things are always changing. In fact, I don't know many things you can count on as much as counting on change. I have a little fun with that one, but Vesnos AS, just an insight, your camera is off. I didn't tell you that. Sorry about that. You can keep it off if that's your desire. But here we are. We're looking to, and what we are doing. Oh, I see if everybody there at home is we have taken an idea, and we brought other people together, and that's being symbolized by the candles. Now, for those of you that the docs can't see this, I'm not showing. But here we are. We're bringing more people, more doctors into the fold here, and more people are participating. And that means more power, more energy, more candle power. So as we move forward, we have new concepts to all our experiences here. And however, the basic concept is, just like we talked about before, leverage. Synergy. This topic of synergy can be more learned about on the website. You see it scrolling along there on the bottom. But here, each of the doctors come together and we join forces to help each other release interference. And today's conversation is love, health, love, and life. Problems, interference, the solution, synergy. So the conversation of interference, Dr. George. Since you're latest to the classroom, I'm going to ask your opinion first. Your thoughts on the topic, just the word interference when it comes to health, love, and life. A small chunk there.
State. And when that's not showing up, there's something interfering with its production. So we're going to look for the interference, address that, so more health, love, and life show up in a person's life and in our communal life.
So just to repeat, because I had you muted my end on the very, very first statement. Dr. George said health, love, and life are the normal state of being.
Right.
Heard the rest. And so if we're experiencing anything other than health, love, and life, well, there's something that's interfering with that. And that can be of any of the realms of the human body.
Mm-hmm.
Physical, mental, emotional, and the biochemistry, the biochemical. And we can have lots of conversation on the iterations of all those different components that make up mental, emotional, physical, structural, and the toxins and the nutrients that are going in and out of the body, in and out of the mind. So with that being said, Sasha, your thoughts on the concept for everybody out there, whether they've never been to a healer, maybe they've never been to a doctor, or maybe they've been completely invested in the holistic side of things, or they're completely invested in the medical side of things, or they've blended the two somewhere in a topic of interference. What would you have to say about that?
Interference is caused by some kind of inefficiency in the nervous system.
Inefficiency in the nervous system.
Like that.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
And so the nerve. Say that again, Sasha. I cut you off. Excuse me.
I've kept it short.
When the nervous system is not appropriately working, well, ask yourself, everybody at home, ask yourself, what's the nervous system in charge of? I think the easiest thing for most people is to start with the 5 senses. Then think of every organ in your body. And they're all coordinated through the brain and nervous system. As Sasha so eloquently simplified, and I think there's real power in simple statements. So thank you, Sasha. Vesna, interference, that thought for people. What would you want to share with that about that?
Interference, it could be just that we interfere also ourselves with our own healing process. For example, if we have high fever, may be just really keen to bring it down, but in fact the body is doing something smart, and we might interfere with the body's intention to heal and to burn toxins and get us to the better state of health.
You know, that's a very good point. I was working with a patient yesterday. She's coming down with a number of things, just mind, emotions, physical, just a number of issues piling up, and she was sad that she had to take some time off of work just to kind of like recover and recuperate. Same time, I and to share with her the idea that her body's going through all these things because she is living the Western lifestyle. Just go, 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 go. And the way the natural body works, there's ebbs and flows and energy. There's things to act on, things to not act on. And I think we've gotten out of that natural rhythm of life in our society, where there's, I mean, computer screens and alone, that conversation of how it affects the brain and the sleeping and wake cycle and the recovery and the stress cycles and going and things like this. We're living in a whole different world than where I think there's a very strong case to make compared to, okay, simply 100 years ago, 50 years ago, 25 years ago, for sure. So the interference, stuff that happens from within and stuff that happens from without, that affects the natural state. So let's go ahead and make that shift where we go into the intention. Now, each of us, the doctors, as Sasha is always foundational, keeping us steady, is we are using a technique that we call the occipital drop to get the yes or no response, and this is coming from the source of life. Sasha, would you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
So the source of life wants to flow, and we want to facilitate that in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So each of us has that foundational intention. And then each of us has intentions for our own individual lives. We have intentions for our patients. And so each of the doctors, I'm going to ask you to comment, what's your intention for the session for the patients they're going to be receiving today? And if they're on a part two, is if there's a personal request, maybe someone that you know, something that you are looking to do, something you're looking to accomplish, what would that be? There is such a thing. So everyone at home, also think about what you are wishing for your own self and those that are in your life. So Vesna, I'll start with you today. What's the intention that you're wanting for the group, for everyone who's connecting, every individual level, depth, or being that's connecting to this today?
The intention is for me to be present and for all of us to be our best potential.
I love that. Thank you. Dr. George, your thoughts today?
What popped in my head was to naturalize normal function.
Naturalize. Beautiful.
It sort of makes sense.
And Sasha?
I'm just going to do a bit of OD and a bit of detective work.
Beautiful. Yeah, because detective work is going to help us have understanding, have insights of what to do. And my intention is for listening and acting. And acting. in a oh man, I love to add stuff too. Mine goes wild, but in a harmonious way. Okay, beautiful.
With harm to no one, Kev?
Yeah, harm to no one.
Yeah, yeah, in a harmonious way.
A harmonious way. No, it is only good can come of this work, and that's kind of the foundational component. And I'm gonna read this. I was at a seminar this past weekend with a group of colleagues, and
What seminar had you been to?
this is like a retreat rejuvenation group that I'm connected to because
I
of
see you look all rejuvenated.
got some sun. Probably got more tired than anything, staying up too late. But however, during the Saturday component where we were building the philosophical fire, so to speak, the program is called Fire on the Mountain, and it's celebrating a passing of one of the Castile brothers, who one of my fraternity brothers. Many of the rugby club team members are and Pi House, the professional fraternity associated with Palmer, one of them. This gentleman was involved in both. Mutual friends and colleagues were there, so we got to have a lot of fun and connection and tell stories, but we had a lot of philosophy and some technique stuff. And but this was handed out kind of like a chiropractic. It was like the chiropractic intention that he set, and ego is edging God out, so we want to be mindful of that. But the mission of the chiropractor, this is what he reads every day. He says, "I am a chiropractor. Today, I will love everyone, serve everyone, and give the message of chiropractic to everyone I contact. Every man, woman, and child needs my help today in becoming and remaining subluxation free. At no time today will I withhold the truth of chiropractic for fear of rejection. Today, I am an expert at correcting subluxations. I will correct subluxations on everyone I care for. When I do this, power within them heals them every time without exception. I can't help everyone. Today, I ask for the strength to serve all those who are coming to see me. I ask for the love to give fully to each one individually. I ask for the innate wisdom to correct every subluxation I lay my hands on. And I ask for the authority to convert others so that today they may share in and spread the truth of chiropractic. Today I serve God by serving others to the gift of chiropractic. Today I am a chiropractor." So the intention is everything. I'm happy to set that intention today. Very thankful for that. And let's go ahead and shift those gears and do the work. So each of the doctors know what to do. Home. Receive. And we invite all those that at any level, depth, and dimension, at distance, that desire this, yes, and participate. All right, let's begin. You're complete. Up. Okay, wonderful. Well, I know I was done my session kind of early, although I was processing, and then there was a moment somebody else made a maneuver. I didn't see it, but I heard it. Then it was like, oh, something happened, time to move, and it was then another thing for me to wrap up towards the end. But for and overall, it was quite simplistic for me. It wasn't a lot to do, which is interesting in itself. I feel like, and anyone else can comment as well. I feel like there's less and less and less accomplished. I don't know, but seeming like there's simplicity moving forward in this. Dr. Sasha, I'll have you go first today. What did you find today? Any comments about what I just said, and any insights?
Yeah, generally I find the same as you, Kevin. That, well, last week's didn't process quickly, but this one today did. I got priority negative emotion, and the first thing OD wanted me to do was a Reiki symbol, the one for peace, and it still wasn't clear. So then it asked me to do a lower body aura clearance, lower half of the body. So I did that, and then it was gone.
Okay. When you say gone, what does that mean? Meaning
The negative emotion was clear.
Okay, so a negative response to any questions, right?
Yeah, to anything really.
Yeah.
You know,
Beautiful. Thank you.
for us and everyone who's listening.
Yeah, I wanted to feather out a little more what you mean by that. I think it's helpful to get explanation. I know I use slang terms and move forward quickly through concepts, and wanting to clarity for listening in. Thank you. I feel so much change every time we do. Dr. Vesna, what did you find today?
I found first that I really deeply relaxed. What came up was L5, sacrum, coccyx, and C7. I think very simple.
Very nice. As well. Very interesting. Very simplistic on my side. But Dr. George, please, next.
Yeah, well, I wanted to go back to what you said, where you said, excuse me, less to accomplish. I think there may be a lot to accomplish, but less for us to do, because our focused intention, we just have to make a couple of course corrections, and then a whole lot of change happens. So I wanted to just comment on that. I kind of tuned into feeling like calm. I don't usually sense. I just kind of mechanically look for what needs to be done, but it felt like calm. It was a different feel today. So again, started with the right kidney, saw stomach needed to be adjusted. Atlas, a little different way, kind of a simple atlas today. And then I saw coccyx, and there was a meningeal adjustment. And it was strange. I aimed the force, and it kind of went around coccyx and then hit it. So I don't know if I missed and the arrow just went around and got. It was a little bit weird, but I think the fact that there was a meningeal thing, so the whole column had a tonal dissonance. So, and then of course Vesna, cleaned up some of the structures down there, and it all sort of comes together, doesn't it?
Well, and Sasha did the lower body aura. I mean,
Lower body aura, yeah.
That's so beautiful, because at the same time, I feel totally relaxed.
Yeah.
Such a deep internal, I'm going to say stomach, but it's like more like the umbilicus, the belly button.
Yeah.
I feel so relaxed in that zone. Fantastic, thank you.
Yeah.
For me, I had two places to work. One was right at the beginning, with C1 on the right, pretty much straight lateral on the body. A lot of nothingness for me. then so I'm just like waiting, it's processing. Then I guess it was Dr. George, because he has the loudest work over there. I heard something happen, and then I got the total sense. All right, I'm up, and I went to it, and I got C1 again off the body, and like 99 out of 100 times it's towards the body, but this time it was away from the body. And then as soon as I got the yes on that, I was shown like just a imagery of space, this millions and millions of stars, and it had an instrument had to point right at one of them. Tap it. That was it. That was it. So whatever that star, and so now I'm like, that was really. What before I asked everybody if they were done or not, I started getting what was that about? I started asking about what was that about. Was there any? I wanted to go through emotion, all the possibilities. I got the like. I wrote down this word, source connections. And then I saw this image of string, like string. I would imagine what string theory looks like. And then I had this revelation of, remember that video I showed you last week of the solar system, and the sun, and all the planets moving around it. Well, we're like the sun, and all the planets are. We have this connection, and they're all floating around us in different orientations, different patterns, and different rates. And it's like, oh, that one was offline, or that one needed whatever that one needed. I don't know. However, I see this, starting to see this picture of what we are, and these cosmological bodies. Some of them are planets around the same plane, but many of them are all just in all directions, in every direction. And it's like these marionettes from different angles playing and demonstrating our reality, which I see almost like how you make laser light shows, produce images, you crisscross lasers, and you get that 3D image. And I'm wondering, wow, is that what this is? Are we in this holographic universe? I apologize, everybody. I'm jumping into so many topics of layers of like things I've looked into, and I think George is following along. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time.
It's going deeper, quicker. You know, it's like all this, you don't even have to think about it. It just like shows up. Wait, I'm on level 45, and we started on level 2 a minute ago. So. Yeah.
I'm afraid I will have to leave.
No, now is the time.
So say goodbye until next week.
Well, Vesna, thank you for closing it off. And I appreciate you, everybody, for the conversation, just like we do every Wednesday at noon. SynergySolutionSessions.com. See you next week, everybody. Take care.
See y'all later. Thank you.
That's right. It is shining, isn't it, Sasha? Bye, everybody.
Recording stopped.
Yeah.